I can't believe I get the 100% Jedi Fallen Order, probably one of the best Star Wars games to date. I remember when Fallen Order came out on November 15th of 2019, I just had to pick it up at launch. However, I didn't really care about 100%ing it back then, but now things have changed. Jedi Survivor released on April 29th of this year. I decided before I would even think about playing Jedi Survivor, I needed 100% Fallen Order. 39 achievements and 25 hours of gameplay sounds fun. So, that's what I did, and you're about to see how I did it. Before I start, let's go over the story of Jedi Fallen Order. There's a lot to the story, but for the sake of time, I will keep it simple and short. Following Cal Kestis 5 years after the events of Order 66, we find the young Padawan hiding away from the Empire who are killing the remaining Jedi. Cal has taken a job as a scrapper. However, after an incident which exposed him to the Empire, he makes a break from them, being rescued by Cere, a former Jedi, and Grease, who is the captain of the Mantis. Further, Cal finding a little droid named BD, who becomes Cal's best friend. They set off to retrieve a holocron which has a map of Force wielders. The story is great, and Cal really goes from a Padawan to a full-fledged Jedi. Now let's get into it, let's go with the game, and let's get achievement hunting. And may the Force be with you. With Cal hiding away, suppressing his Jedi abilities, he is soon confronted by Inquisitors. Going toe-to-toe with one, Cal is saved by a few new friends that will help him along his journey. Cere is a former Jedi, and Grease the captain of the Mantis. After a brief nap, Cal awakens and is greeted by Grease, and then I get my first achievement, the Mantis. Starting out with something pretty straightforward, Fallen Order has lightsaber customizations, and it's actually really cool. There are these things called workbenches that allow you to change things like the emitter, the switch, the handle, and the color. Throughout the game, the chests you find, you'll be able to click different parts to actually hone your inner Jedi and replace parts on your lightsaber. Posting up on the workbench, I changed some of the parts, which grants me the achievement, Sabersmith. Running around Bogano, the first planet I visit, I am tasked to open a vault, which is the first clue to finding the holocron. Coming around the vault, my new companion BD-1 plays a hologram message from Jedi Master Cordova, who points us to the next clue on the planet Zeffo. However, before leaving, an achievement pops a long time ago. Zeffo is full of many foes, most of them being stormtroopers who are out for my head, with many new force abilities available to me. I soon learn a new skill which is a bit of a kicker. This new ability allows me to dodge and kick. Rather than parrying an attack, I can dodge and then respond with a kick, which the enemy will take damage. Being the slippery Jedi I am, I basically ducked and rolled, slamming my foot into the trooper, knocking the trooper out and getting the achievement kick off. Not soon after, I run into this horse-like goat, a Phylak, that likes to hit hard and kick me in the gut. Being a petty person I am, I decided to kick the Phylak back, and I got the achievement, Kicking Back. In the process of searching for clues of the holocron, I run into a tomb called Ilum, which is a giant system of rooms which hold different puzzles to be solved. Each tomb pretty much grants me a new force ability, like this one, which gave me the ability to push. However, playing with some big balls, moving them around, I was able to make it to the end, which I activate the elevator that granted me the achievement, The Obstacle is the Way. Just like the ability to customize the lightsaber, there is a couple more things you can customize, like Cal's poncho, BD-1's armor color, and the Mantis color scheme. I was messing around and I decided to change all three at one time by changing the colors and the style, which grants me the achievement, the Full Glow Up. Being the idiot I am, I didn't hit the record because my brain just didn't work. However, this achievement just requires the player to deflect blaster bolts back at troopers. It's super easy and it's pretty much unmissable. The achievement is called Back at You and it's super simple. In Fallen Order, enemies love to gang up on me, and literally I'd be dealing with 2 or 3 troopers at a time, and it's just incredibly difficult. It got intense and I was scared. However, I remember my training and I let the Force guide me, and I parried several times, which grants me the achievement, Perfect Timing. Let me just tell you, this next thing is pretty wild. I personally found it super hilarious. I landed on Kashyyyk to go find a piece of the puzzle for the holocron. You know what it is, Cal's journey. And I'm over here slinging things around. And next thing I know, this little droid comes up to me. I'm like, oh hi. So I scooped him up with my ability and I yeeted him at a trooper, which granted me the achievement, Bank Shot. So we learned that we need to find a Wookiee named Tarful, who basically might know something about information about Holocron, maybe? But we are told that to be able to find him, there's a Wookiee we need to find. And that Wookiee is imprisoned by the Empire, who's basically taking a bunch of Wookiees and rounding them up. I said Wookiee a bunch of times, I know. But, so, being a Jedi I am, I go free some Wookiees. However, a security droid comes over to me and just slaps me around a little bit, treating me like a piece of meat. I did not like it, but I defeated him and I let out the first pair of Wookiees. Soon after, I let out a few more, which I inspired a prison riot, and then I ended up going around saving all these Wookiees from these AT-ATs, and they thank me for the help, which I get the achievement, Happy Go Wookiee.
And this is Commander Choi.
Some achievements require me to use certain abilities to unlock certain things, like one ability called Empowered Slow, which makes me, I have to pretty much like freeze enemies for a long period of time, which I handle with my lightsaber and defeating them. And I do that for a couple times until I get the achievement Not So Fast. After cleaning up some things and finishing up with Kashyyyk for now, I headed back to Zeffo because I learned that there's another tomb there that I must complete to find more information about the Holocron. However, on the way to the tomb, we meet Trilla. She's a nice sister and with Ceres former Padawan, which kind of shakes Cal to his core. I'm not sure why, but understandable. However, finishing up with the tomb and actually getting super confused doing it, I unlocked a new ability called Force Pull. However, after that, I unlocked the hologram of Cordova, and then after that, the achievement pops called Everything is Connected. Okay, just hear me out. I don't mean to be a jerk, alright? I just like to use my force abilities for funny things. I thought today I want to put on my lab coat and become a scientist. So I decided let's test the theory of gravity. And why not? We have all these troopers standing around. Let's just give it a good push off the ledge and see what happens. So I pushed a bunch of enemies off the ledge, and it turns out gravity is actually real, and I end up unlocking the achievement Look Out Below. So don't quote me on this. I'm not sure how I got this achievement to unlock because I'm pretty sure I did it wrong, and I'm not going to argue with it. I'm just going to take it. Pretty much all I got to do is have a trooper fire a blaster ball at you, which you freeze, and you force kind of pull him into the blaster ball, which ends up, defeating him. But however, I somehow pull the trooper, I hit the bolt, and the trooper automatically dies, and I get the achievement What Goes Around. I just love how things just, fall into place, And this next achievement is pretty funny because I randomly found these 3 stormtroopers standing next to each other, well, the rocket troopers to say, and pretty much all I gotta do is blow them up with their own rocket, which I do that several times, I think about 10 times for the achievement, which is pretty funny. I just kept grinding over and over again, and so I got the achievement Big Bang. So great news, Tarful, which the Wookiee went for, tells us that a giant tree, an ancient tree of Kashyyyk is where we need to go, which we do. And we make our way up this giant tree, finding a bunch of enemies, and then meeting a giant bird who's being harassed by the Empire, which we do help. That said bird gives us a ride up to the tippy top, and then we meet a nice sister who basically does not like us whatsoever, and so we do battle. Let me tell you, this next achievement is tough. She is a hulking beast and she is quick on her feet. However though, we do end up taking her down and cutting off her hand, which gives us the achievement Her Name Messana Tide. Hopefully I said that right. This next achievement is super simple. All you gotta do is unlock a skill and use that skill to dodge an enemy's attacks, which I do several times actually. I use a single enemy and grind them out a couple times where I'm just like dodging, I get smacked a couple times, but that's here nor there. So after the final time of dodging, I unlock the achievement Can't Touch This. Throughout the game, you're going to run into several bounty hunter droids. Basically, these droids will rip your head off, and I'm not too keen of dying, so being the clever little Jedi I am, I fight back and destroy a bunch of them. You have to pretty much meet every single one of them, if that makes sense, and so which I do, and after defeating the last bounty hunter droid, I get the achievement Scum and Villainy. BD-1 is a fighter, and let me tell you, he does not let anything go. I unlocked a new upgrade for BD-1 that allows him to pretty much hack security droids to take them over and let them fight for me. So the great thing about this is I found a security droid with a couple troopers, and I ended up doing, a little thing there, and I ended up hacking security droid, and I let the droid go ham, and this thing was slapping around Stormtrooper with no problem. And soon after, I get the achievement, Don't Mess with BD1. After leaving Kashyyyk, learning that the planet Dathomir holds something that will help us finally unlock the vault on Bogano. I'm pretty deep into Dathomir, and I run into this giant owl-like creature. Not sure why it hates me so much, but I guess it's hungry? Actually, before I could actually defeat it, the owl-like creature decided to take off with his tail between his legs. Soon after, jumping on its head, I take it down to the ground, knocking that thing out, which I get the achievement Golgana Falls. And again, I hope I said that correctly. Throughout all the planets we visit, Zeffo, Kashyyyk, Dathomir, all of them have one thing in common. They have these things called legendary beasts. I must defeat 4 legendary beasts. You may ask yourself, what is a legendary beast? They're just mini bosses with a large health bar, which here on Dathomir, this thing is crazy. It wants to eat me alive, and I'm not sure why, but being the little Jedi I am and being quick on my feet, I take him down, which grants me the achievement Legendary Beast. Cal enters the temple on Dathomir, which holds the key to unlocking the vault holding the holocron. However, Cal is pretty much attacked by his former master. It's pretty much due to the fact Cal's guilt of losing his master during Order 66. Cal has to return to the planet Ilum to retrieve a kyber crystal to fix his broken lightsaber, which we do, and by we get the achievement for a more civilized time. Just like the collectibles in Fallen Order, we have these things called Force Echoes. Basically, Cal has this ability to sense certain objects that have passed and to relive them, or pretty much like see them, I guess. I'm not sure how it works. I'm not too, versed into the Star Wars lore, but after collecting 75 of them and reaching out for the last one, I get the achievement Echolocation. On Zeffo, you can find this giant ship that crashed on there, and it's pretty interesting. The ship is called the Ventor, and I'm not sure about its origin, but it's really cool to explore. There are several chests to find and a bounty hunter droid trying to kill me. After vacating the ship, I get the achievement Visiting All the Wrong Places. I know I'm jumping around planet to planet, but it's because I'm in the in-game mode. I'm collecting everything I can because, we're getting towards the end of it. Which, I end up getting this really funny achievement where you fight this giant frog. These giant frogs on Bogano, and pretty much I have to do is I have to force pull the giant frog, which rips out its tongue, and I freeze it, and then I smack it with my lightsaber, which grants me the achievement Cal Got Your Tongue. Going for 100%, I had to find all the chests and secrets across all the planets like Zeffo, Dathomir, Bogano, Kashyyyk, and Ilum. Each have a different amount of chests and secrets which are pretty easy to find. For example, BD1 stems are very important to my survival in Fallen Order, especially since they regenerate my health to get back into the fight. The golden chests which hold the stems are considered secrets. After finding the last one, I get the achievement Collector, and medical droid. Soon after, I open this tiny little room that's holding this furry little creature, which will join my crew and help with another achievement down the road. So I haven't mentioned this once before, but we meet this guy dressed in all black who is called the Stranger. He's basically a creep, and I don't like him very much. He always gives me the creepy vibes. But after entering the temple back on Dathomir, we run into him, and he reveals himself to be a Sith Lord. Because, Dathomir is drenched in death and fear, and so he pretty much deals with that by becoming a Sith Lord, I guess. I don't know. But the cool thing though, we actually get help from a Knight Sister, I think it's called. Her name is Mirren, and she's super helpful when fighting him, and it's actually pretty easy. But he does hit hard sometimes, and you gotta be super careful when he throws rocks at you. Those things are awful and just annoy the hell out of me. But I defeat him, Mirren sucks him down to hell, I guess, and I get the achievement. I knew he was no good. On Bogano, I opened the room that was holding a little creature that would join my crew. Before leaving Dathomir, I recruited Mirren, a witch who helped us fight the Stranger, and who was actually really helpful. So after a brief conversation and asking her to join the crew, she said yes, and the achievement pops Full House. On every single planet, you must explore the map 100%. There's a little icon that shows the amount of percentage you explored each planet, and we must get every single planet to 100%. Because the next achievement, which requires us to explore every single area within every single planet to get this next achievement, which I ended up doing. I think it was the last spot. I think it was the temple on Dathomir, and when I entered the room, I unlocked the achievement, A Galaxy Far, Far Away. Before starting the last mission on Bogano, I decided to take out a few of these crab bugs. They are definitely not happy with me. For some reason, I'm not sure. However, with the quick lightsaber throw, I take out a bunch of them and the achievement pops triple take. Being back on Bogano, it's a bittersweet moment. It means I'm almost done and it's time to finally get the holocron. It's been a wild and incredibly fun ride. Entering the temple and placing the piece I got from Dathomir and achievement pops, the holocron awaits. And it's also pretty cool that there's a scene where we get to see Cal in his Inquisitor outfit, which is absolutely incredible, and I wish they allowed us to actually equip that during the main mission. Soon after that, the holocron was stolen by Trilla, and Cal is just down in the dumps. However, his mood is improved when he is anointed a Jedi Knight. And I can't believe it, I was jumping for joy for my boy. I was so happy for him. However, after that, I looked at my little garden and I got the achievement Green Thumb. There are about 10 plants scattered among the plants I traveled to. Just by scanning the plant, you need to grab the seed and plant it and let it grow to fully get the plant to where it's supposed to be to unlock the achievement. This next achievement is pretty straightforward but annoying to do. There are certain objects in the game that Cordova left for us to scan, which pretty much gives us a brief story about said object. While running around Bogano, grabbing everything I can and scanning anything that looks scannable, I grabbed the last scannable object to complete Cordova's journal, getting the achievement data disc. Making my way back to Dathomir, the temple where we fought the stranger, I found a little place where it allowed me to grind out some skill points. I needed 2 more left to unlock the last skill, which wasn't too bad. This little niche little spot is pretty nice. Finding these 2 giant creatures should give you quite a bit of XP, which I feel like is super worth it, because if you angle it right on the bridge, they get like stuck, or like they get confused and you can hit them and they don't move. It's actually pretty cool. But after hacking and slashing away, I was able to get the last skill grade and unlock the achievement Feel the Force. This next achievement is pretty weird. You have to hit an enemy with every single type of lightsaber form. With a double-bladed lightsaber, with 2 lightsabers, or 1 lightsaber. I'm not really sure what it is. I think it's just a special move they have to use on the enemy. Each special move. But however, hitting the security droid with each form of lightsaber combat, I get the achievement Blade Master. Throughout the game, I've been scanning every single enemy after defeating each one. However, one enemy eluded me until the very end. After fighting Trilla and winning, Darth Vader appears, striking down Trilla due to her failing. With so much fear resonating from Vader, Cal decided to run. Vader gave chase and wasn't letting up. However, making to the elevator and getting away from him for now, the achievement pops Data Collector. After getting away and making it back to the Mantis, Cal and the crew open up the holocron to see all the new Force wielders. But Cal decides that maybe it's best to let the Force handle this for now, and so he destroys the holocron. And with that, the achievement pops Trust Only in the Force. That concludes Jedi Fallen Order. I had a lot of fun with this game. The grind wasn't that bad and it was super great. I fell in love with this game at launch. I'm so happy I was able to actually 100% and get myself so much closer to that 100,000 gamer score. I love you all and appreciate how amazing each one of you are. More videos are coming out and hopefully it won't take too long. Take care and may the Force be with you.